Buddy, it's time for a Friday edition of What's Hot, where we talk about the stories that have us all talking with an extra amount of flair.
We're joined by Klein from Boelter in Lincoln, and Jeff Wagner is back. An 8-year-old boy was forced to hold a sign saying, "I picked a fight at school because I am a bully." His mother said her son started that fight, so she took the matter into her own hands, forcing him to stand on a street corner holding that sign. Is this good parenting?
I don't have an issue with it, but I also don't have children, which probably says a lot. I think that, I'm just saying, I think, you know, in this day and age, sometimes you have to take drastic measures to get your point across, especially as a parent. And so if this was a no harm, no foul, in my opinion, he obviously did something wrong. He needs to own up to it and realize that there are consequences for each bad decision that he makes.
See, I don't even think this is so much drastic action. This mom is on my short list for like our Right Stuff Awards. I mean, here's the bottom line. The kid is 8 years old. The kid picked a fight. The kid was the aggressor. Now, there's all sorts of things that you can do. You can say, okay, I'm going to ground the child. I'm not going to let you play with your iPad or whatever, no television, whatever. Obviously, mom doesn't think that stuff works. This public shaming, especially at this age, I think works. Would it work for somebody who's 18? I don't know. 8 years old, I think, is the perfect time.
I'll tell you, I remember being a kid, there was no deterrent greater than embarrassment.
Right.
Yeah.
And he's not getting hurt. He's just, his ego's hurt a little bit, but hopefully it stops the behavior.
Right.
And you have to stop it young. If you have, the problem with a lot of these bullies is the parents don't step in, or they don't think their kids are doing anything wrong.
Right.
Right, and stepping in at this point, you know, resolves a greater issue longer in life. You know, during high school, it could be amplified and get much worse. So kudos to this mom for taking action.
Yeah, and my guess is mom had probably tried other things. My sense is this probably isn't, oh, this is the first time the kid's done something. Here, we're going to put him out on a street corner holding a sign. My guess is mom has used other sort of progressive forms of discipline, and it hasn't worked out. So kid will get over it, and maybe he won't bully people anymore.
I'll bet she's getting some heat for it, though. You know, there's
Oh,
people
sure.
that don't agree on this.
Oh, it's child abuse. Oh, it's terrible. How can you hold the child out? He could be in danger. Well, okay. Life is tough. Get a helmet.
Right.
All right, coming up.
I haven't heard that one in a while.
I love it when we hear that from Wagner. Coming up, we know
What's hot in our viewer's choice topic of the day.
Again, we are joined on Fridays by Klein and Jeff Wagner from News Radio 620. Okay, is it worth it to go to college? This is the question a lot of people are asking themselves, especially when it comes to time to find a good paying job. Some jobs pay well and don't require a degree. Is it still better, though, to have that piece of paper?
I think so. I think you learn so much more by going to college, not specifically to a job function or a particular industry, but you learn how to work with different personalities. You learn how to be diplomatic and take on really tough challenges and situations that you might encounter in the real world. I think it goes, the values of going to college go beyond, you know, how much you're going to make in a particular job.
Okay, my philosophy of this is embodied. It's Friday in my Jimmy Buffett song
Okay.
lyric. One of my very favorite songs. He talks about higher education. You really want to get learning. The song's called Domino College. Just go down to Domino College, roll those bones, you'll be set. Look, I am a big fan. Look, I went to law school. I went pretty much as far as there is to go, you know, when it comes to higher education. But the truth is, it's not for everybody. The truth is, there's a lot of people, a matter of fact, a lot of people I went to high school with who would have been much better off if instead of being pushed into a liberal arts education, they would have been allowed and encouraged to cultivate, for example, knowledge of the trades that they were good at. So I'm not anti-college, but I think there's a lot of other successful people and a lot of other ways we can get people to be successful without pushing them into college.
I think traditional college is going to change over the years.
It has to.
It does, because it's becoming unaffordable.
Yep.
Even the schools that used to be affordable. And I just think there's going to be a realization that not every job needs this. And you can do on-the-job training. You can go to a different type of school.
Well, you could get the technical school.
Right.
The technical, I mean, you start out, I mean, the world needs plumbers. The world needs electricians. That's great.
But
Not
beyond that,
everybody-
other
yeah.
professions too, you know, that you...
There's a number I saw yesterday. It's the amount of total outstanding student loan debt right now in the country.
Right, sure.
$1 trillion worth of outstanding
Enormous.
student loan debt right now.
Well, like anything else, college needs to evolve or die, and so do hiring requirements. So if we don't pick up with the Joneses and evolve the criteria, we're just putting everybody else behind.
Lightning round time.
90
Classic
seconds left.
movies seem to always get remade. Today, the first full trailer of RoboCop was released, and it has us thinking, are we all out of original ideas? Should movie makers leave classic films alone and Just make some new stuff.
No,
See, one of the cool things, I'm sorry, one of the cool things about RoboCop, the original Paul Verhoeven version of it, is it's cheesy. That's what I like about it.
Well, sure. I mean, Starship Troopers, all those kind of movies. Look, here's my big philosophy. I don't understand why you remake good movies. Why remake True Grit? Why remake Miracle on 34th Street? I would say remake the bad movies. You know, the ones that really stink, try again. See if you can get them right. If you're going to do remakes, remake bad stuff.
See, I'm riding the pine on this one. Like, I see both sides of the coin. I see that sometimes there's an opportunity to redo an old flick that might become popular again with the generations of today. But I also think there's a lack of creativity when it comes to movies. I think there's a lack of fresh ideas, fresh insight, and fresh creative drive when it comes to movie making. So I think there's a time and a place for everything. If you're on the third iteration of a movie, knock it off, cut it out, come up with some better ideas.
And stay away from Total Recall.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, one of the great Arnold Schwarzenegger movies, you don't hear that phrase used a lot.
Right.
One of the great Arnold Schwarzenegger movies, they remake Total Recall, it stunk.
Yeah, it's just bogus.
You know what the finest Schwarzenegger movie ever made was?
It's not a tumor.
Kindergarten Cop, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, with Danny
There you
DeVito.
I agree.
No, that's twins.
No, that was Kindergarten Cop.
Danny DeVito was a Kindergarten Cop?
Oh, wait.
Oh, okay,
No,
now,
he was
all
in
right, see,
Twins.
no, you're probably
Somebody's got
right.
to go to the
Okay,
Google.
No,
this
no, no.
discussion is going to continue online. Find that
I'm
page
wrong.
at tmj4.com
I'm wrong,
slash
I confess.
hot.
Wait,